As most people in Texas know, TAR operates on a 2-year schedule, off year and then the year that the Texas legislature is in session. 2008 being an even year was an off year, and a year that we typically use to identify legislative issues for the upcoming session in the following odd year. And that was the biggest task we had during the bulk of the year were the implementation of 6 task forces to identify our legislative agenda and create that legislative agenda as we went into the session in 2009. I think TAR may be unique in its process of developing the issues because we truly are a member-driven organization. I think lots of associations that we come in contact with at the Capitol their agendas are staff-driven as opposed to member-driven. The task forces that were in place in 2008, for instance, taxation, and that's taxation mainly related to property taxation. TAR has long advocated for lower dependence on property taxes to fund our state government, and are always trying to identify other sources of revenue as opposed to just continuing to raise property taxes. And so that taxation committee interviewed several different experts during the early part of the year, talked about possible legislation that was being discussed by the legislature in their interim committees. Our infrastructure and utilities task force was considering some of the big transportation issues that were affecting Texas in 2008 and still to this day are a problem because of the continuing explosion of population in our state. Because that's an issue that impacts private property owners, whether it involves eminent domain or access to commercial properties or subdivision development. All transportation just kind of weaves through our lives. The Financial Services Task Force was very busy in 2008. During that time period, we were getting ready to, we're getting close to the financial meltdown in the fall of 2008. There had been rampant mortgage fraud around the country. We'd had a good deal of that activity in the state. Our task force was looking at those issues in ways to require further licensing of mortgage brokers and bankers, further regulation in order to protect private property owners and to have an honest transaction. During 2008, we faced some personal challenges that maybe past leadership teams had not faced, and probably tested the leadership team concept about as well as it could be tested, and it passed with flying colors in 2008. The beauty of the leadership team for TAR is the continuity of purpose. There are initiatives that are conceived at a point in time, that may not culminate for 3 and 4 and 5 years down the road. I think that probably makes every member of the leadership team more of a strategic thinker than a task thinker, knowing that we're really thinking out ahead, knowing that we may be gone as a member of a leadership team when an idea that has its infancy during our term of office may come to fruition at some other point. And I think that really strengthens the association to have that type of strategic thinking in place all of the time.